Hello, my name is Abbey. I'm 17 years old, and this is about my journey through PCOS and getting a diagnosis. I was diagnosed with PCOS earlier this year in January. My struggles began long before I had a name for my condition. For the past 5 years, I've dealt with symptoms that often left me confused, frustrated, and even isolated, from irregular cycles to weight changes, acne, battles that nobody else could see. I was fighting, not knowing what was happening to my body. It made me doubt myself and my confidence, and often affected how I saw myself in everyday life. Getting my diagnosis of PCOS brought me both relief and new challenges. On one hand, it finally gave me answers and showed me that I was experiencing what was real and not my fault. On the other hand, it meant learning how to manage a condition that doesn't just go away overnight. It has taken my strength, my patience, and support to adjust my lifestyle and find treatment options at work, and remind myself that my struggles do not define who I am, even though the journey is not easy. I want to share my story because I know others are facing similar battles, and none of us should have to feel alone. PCOS, or Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, is one of the most common hormone disorders in young women, yet it is often misunderstood and overlooked. For girls my age, the struggle can feel especially heavy because it often begins during our teenage years, during our periods. The very time we are figuring out who we are and how we see ourselves, symptoms like irregular periods, painful cramps, weight changes, excess hair growth, thinning hair on the scalp, acne, and mood swings can take a toll not only physically but also emotionally. Many young girls face lowered self-esteem, embarrassment, or even bullying because of these visible changes, while silently dealing with the invisible ones like fatigue or hormonal imbalances. On top of that, the fear of long-term effects, such as fertility challenges, can feel overwhelming at such a young age. Living with PCOS isn't about managing symptoms. It's about learning to accept your body, fight through the stigma, and find strength in a journey that can often feel very lonely. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, after struggling for about 5 years with symptoms that I didn't fully understand. PCOS is a hormonal condition that affects many young women. It can cause irregular cycles and overall horrible pain. On top of PCOS, I am now also trying to find out whether I have endometriosis, a condition where tissue similar to the lining of the womb grows outside of it. This has made it very hard for me to live what feels like a normal life for the past 5 years. The pain, exhaustion, unpredictability is all often keeping me from going places, doing the things most people my age take for granted. Unfortunately, getting a proper diagnosis for endometriosis isn't simple, because our government have recently voted against endometriosis care, and the government has outdated view on women's health. It means having to go abroad, and if I do have it, surgery may be the only option. Facing that reality at my age is overwhelming, but I know that answers that are the first stage towards hope. By sharing my story, I want to raise awareness about the challenges young girls face with conditions like PCOS and endometriosis. As it gets serious with women, it can mean infertility, and to remind others like me that our struggles are real and we deserve to be heard, believed, and supported. The pain is something I can't even put into words. It's not just bad cramps, it's sharp, stabbing, burning pain that takes over my whole body and leaves me curled up and unable to move for days. It feels like my body is working against me, stealing away any chance of living like a normal teenager. It's missing out on school, friendships, and experience because I'm too exhausted or in too much pain to function. It's lying awake at night wondering if tomorrow is unbearable. The worst part is feeling like I have to keep explaining or proving this pain to people who never truly understand what it's like to live in my body. Being struggling with symptoms for more than 5 years, PCOS is horrible. I've been dealing with this way too long, and I was told my pain was normal by the doctors, or that I was exaggerating, for years. It made me feel like I was in my head, even though I knew something was very wrong. Being dismissed over and over again was exhausting, and made me feel like my voice didn't matter. Now I am also fighting to get diagnosed for endometriosis. My doctor at Ennis Hospital put in my Mirena column 24th of March 2025 and said that my pain is not related to my PCOS. Yet, the doctors say I'm too young to have endometriosis. Yet there are girls my age that are in wheelchairs, have growths around their bones, have it in their brain, and they could, it's really serious, they could die from it. But the doctors just don't want to diagnose me because I'm 17. There are girls my age are unable to move with this condition. That can cause extreme pain. The only way for it to be confirmed is to have to go to another country to get a diagnosis. The fact I might have to travel abroad just to be taken seriously is ridiculous. No young girl should have to fight this hard to prove her pain is real. I'm sick of being ignored, sick of being doubted, and sick of pretending I can live like a normal life. My reality is being anything but normal for the past 5 years. PCOS and endometriosis are real, and they destroy lives when they go untreated. I was being gaslit by doctors, even people I thought were friends, and it was all in my head that I was suffering with anxiety. I shouldn't have to beg to be heard. None of us should. What I want most is not pity, but understanding, awareness, and for young girls, women like me, to be believed for once. That's the end of my mini speech, and I just want people to hear about it. And there will be more videos coming on this account about the way doctors have failed young girls in our age group, and throughout women with PCOS all over Ireland, and with endometriosis. So, thank you for listening to me. I want you to all understand how hard it is living with this condition. I have missed countless days of school, missed out, my life is failing. My pain has only gotten worse. This started in first year. I am still going through it in sixth year. It has been going on since the start of my first year. People told me it was anxiety from starting. People told me it was COVID. It wasn't any of those things. I was struggling for years. The doctors told me it was all in my head, and I was hallucinating. They gave me the wrong medications, made me seize. I can't walk some days. I cannot get physically out of my bed to go to school. My head is constantly in pain. My stomach, my legs, everywhere is just constantly in pain, and I cannot go on like this for any longer. I've been dealing with this for 6 years, and I'm absolutely sick of the healthcare system in Ireland, especially now that the government has voted against endometriosis care. That is absolutely astounding for people. There are so many women going through this. 1 in every 10 women have PCOS and possibly endometriosis, because that's what leads to it. My Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, they told me I had 1 cyst on one of my ovaries, singularly. Then I went back 2 months later, and a couple of weeks later after that, I have multiple cysts all over my ovaries apparently, but they won't tell us. I have to get scans after scans, I have to get everything. On morphine, it doesn't help the pain. Panadol doesn't help the pain simply. In school, I physically cannot sit down without being in pain, and it is absolutely horrible for my family and friends to have to see me go through that. My mother visits the hospital with me, and it's horrible. I don't want to have to go through this anymore. I want to go get my diagnosis, and hopefully they'll tell me what I need to know. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do, because the Irish healthcare system is so useless, and we'll take the next few steps from there. Thank you.